How to beat Shovel Knight, tips and tricks from the game masters at the Backloggery. Think you've got what it takes to master the ancient code of chivalry? You'll need all the help you can get if you want to save the land from the evil enchantress and her Order of No Quarter. This video cassette guide will help you discover Shovel Knight's secret weapons, and you'll learn the strategies that you'll need to conquer his toughest foes. Before you begin, read the instruction booklet included with the game cartridge, and be sure to understand all of Shovel Knight's basic moves. When you're prepared, power on your system and press the start button to begin. Shovel Knight supports battery-backed saves. Choose the adventure profile you wish to use and register your name, up to 9 letters long. Throughout the game, always keep an eye out for out-of-place blocks in the walls. Destroying these walls will reveal secret rooms and shortcuts that the Order of No Quarter tried to hide from Shovel Knight. It's Black Knight, Shovel Knight's arch-rival. You've come too far to lose now. Concentrate on dodging his series of 4 shovel drops. He's very quick to use a shovel slash from the front, so keep your distance and use shovel drop on him from above. There are many friendly characters who can help you in the village. Turn to pages 22 through 25 in the instruction booklet to learn about important characters like Gastrometer, Magicist, Chester, and Topal Acolyte. Did you buy the fishing rod in the village? If you have enough magic points, cast your fishing rod to pull up something valuable out of any sparkling pits. Line up Shovel Knight with his outline to reveal a secret passageway. Inside this blue chest is that wily salesman, Chester. Buy the flare wand for 1,000 golds. Stand in the safe spot here and move out to shoot the flare wand in between flame waves. If you run out of magic points, you'll have to attack the Griffoth up close, but beware of his claws. Be patient and don't panic as the propeller rats slowly move closer. They're small targets to destroy, so don't underestimate them. King Knight will do 2 quick leaps toward you. When he summons the trumpets, small wrapped candies will slowly float down from above, which are dangerous to Shovel Knight. When King Knight bends forward, be ready to jump. He'll dash all the way across the screen in a lightning-quick move that's almost too fast to dodge. You can visit with the Topal King in Tropal Pond, east of Pridemore Keep. Unless you're looking for a big challenge, fill your Tropal chalices with useful magical ichor before heading into a new area. You can shovel bounce off the tops of tombstones like these, but sometimes spooks will come out to haunt you. Beware! In this scene, skeletons on a pull-up bar pull down when 2 characters are on a platform, and pull up when there's only 1. In this dark area, you must shovel the crown skull from 1 pull-up platform to 1 on the left. Here's what the room looks like on a lightning freeze frame. Think you can memorize it? To proceed in the level, fall into the pit in the middle. To find a secret, head left here. Chester will sell you the Phase Locket, which is useful in the bonus area that you can play after finishing the Lick Yard. Spectre Knight throws his scythe around the room. It's very large, but there are safe spots in the corners and on the platforms. He'll pull some dirty tricks later in the fight, like summoning weak bone clangs and turning the whole area dark. Be ready to move fast. Plague Knight's oversized Bunsen burners light up quickly once you stand on them. Plague rats are tricky critters. They'll jump at you when they see you, so try to dispatch them from above. Or you could get clever and use relics like the Phase Bracelet or the Chaos Ball. Note the lighter colored blocks. These are dust blocks, which Shovel Knight drops through without bouncing, unlike the normal dirt blocks. Blue Bunsen burners fire up at regular intervals. If you're not feeling confident with your timing, try using the Phase Charm to pass through more easily. What's the meaning of this? Plague Knight has created gelatinous clones of Shovel Knight. These mockeries do an admirable job, but they just can't keep up with the real Shovel Knight's moves. At last, we meet Plague Knight himself. The floor blocks can be destroyed by Plague Knight's exploding plague flasks, which makes it difficult to find solid footing. Watch out for the 2 plague flares that roll out of each explosion. When he conjures up the boiling plague jars, watch out! The next explosion could trigger a reaction that destroys most of the floor. Try using a magic weapon like the Chaos Orb, which works very well on uneven flooring. When underwater, Shovel Knight can jump very high. Hold the A button for a longer jump, but be careful not to jump into any ceiling spikes. Sometimes it's unsafe to use a shovel bounce down here. Invis-eels show up when you least expect them. If one starts to appear, get out of its way, then attack. Time to do business with our good friend Chester. Wait, this isn't Chester. It's a giant abyss fish. Don't fight, just run. Now the weak point is open. Don't try to shovel bounce off her back because that won't work. Attack with regular shovel slashes. Oh, it turns out Chester was there all along. If you can afford it, buy his newest magical relic, Throwing Anchor. It's Treasure Knight, the big boss of the Iron Whale himself. When he aims his anchor cannon, get ready to jump. He does short but quick dashes back and forth, so don't stand near him on the ground. If you mostly stay up in the air above him, performing shovel drop as you attack, you shouldn't have much to worry about in this fight. Mole Knight has burrowed himself deep within the Lost City. Let's dig in. If you picked up the silver Dynamo armor in Armor Outpost, you'll have a much easier time fighting those pesky gold armors. Dynamo armor gives you a charge slash to use anytime after you perform 2 shovel bounces. Simply bounce off a gold armor shield, then quickly slash his front. These are boom blocks. Be careful which one you start the explosion with, and be careful how you fight around them. Shovel drops are not recommended. The cooled lava has become green and bouncy. Use this to reach high places. Over here is where you'll find Chester. Today, he's selling dust knuckles. Shovel the green blobs onto the lava to cool it and make it bouncy. Be quick! The effect only lasts for a few seconds. Watch out, Shovel Knight! This part is tricky because you'll have to use shovel drop to break through the hard blocks, then perform a regular shovel slash to cancel the drop before you hit the boom blocks below. Mole Knight begins the battle by blasting himself from wall to wall several times. This is a great opportunity to get in some extra hits. When the mounds of dirt come up, look carefully for Mole Knight's helmet peeking through and dig him up. He then explodes and becomes temporarily invincible while flames shower around the room. Viklings will slowly throw spears at you and hop away when you approach. They're also immune to shovel drop, so attack them with ranged relics from a distance. Fluffy snow deposits will fall onto the spikes when you touch them, giving you a soft and safe covering to walk on. This strange frozen statue spews out temporary rainbow bridges for Shovel Knight to walk on. Chester is hiding out in Polar Knight's lair, just behind this wall to the left. Air dragons can't be destroyed by shovel drop, but you'll see here just how useful they can be for helping Shovel Knight get about. Other times, they're a major ice pick in Shovel Knight's side, and you can defeat them by attacking their bloated throat from the front. Polar Knight attacks ruthlessly, and you'll have a tough time jumping over all of his snowballs. A relic like the Throwing Anchor may help here. When he leaps into the air, get moving. He'll crash down on Shovel Knight's position and then begin shoveling up snow to reveal the spikes below. Polar Knight is invincible against spikes, but sometimes he'll have snow sickles come crashing down from above, which will temporarily provide new platforms for Shovel Knight. Tinker Knight's Tinker Rats are a lot like Plague Knight's Plague Rats, but they dive low at you instead and take 2 hits to destroy. Up here and behind the wall to the left, you'll find Chester, who's selling the mobile gear. Tinker Knight is shorter than you imagine. He runs about throwing small wrenches, but sometimes he panics and throws a bunch of them at once. Was that really it? Hopefully you saved your magic, because Tinker Knight has a second form. Jump on the larger missiles near the bottom of the screen, and don't hesitate when you boldly leap over this missile at the top, or else you'll miss your chance. Get into a groove of shovel dropping on Tinker Knight's head, in between the missile volleys that fire from his shoulder. If you do fall, use throwing anchor to damage him from below. It's very windy outside, which means you'll have a tough time jumping against the wind. And beware, it is not safe to fish out here. Shovel Knight walks behind the dark blue walls. Watch this. If the puff of smoke from a cannonball hits the ceiling, then that's where a gap is. Jump over the gap. Don't be touching the ground when the slam ship pounds into the ground. Shovel Knight will be stunned by the earthquake and then hurt by the bombs. After you climb this ladder, fall back down to get past the fans and into the area to the right. This is where Chester will sell you a wonderful relic called the Propeller Dagger. Now the wind is really wild. If you don't time things right, you'll get impaled in the ceiling. Ride the wind without jumping from the lower platform and then quickly jump into the gap while you still have the chance. The gyroscopic jester, Propeller Knight, uses a fencing style of sword fighting. He's super dangerous, performing quick jabs back and forth and even launching Shovel Knight into the air. After he calls in his doom ship, watch out for when the giant cannonballs destroy 2 sections of the floor and then fall continuously. At last, it's time to take on the Enchantress at the Tower of Fate. You'll need to use everything you've learned up to this point to clear these challenging stages. Out in the acid rain, where everything is turned black, some platforms are magical illusions. Look very carefully. Raindrops only fall on real platforms. It's the final battle against Black Knight. Now he can block some of your magic shots and can even sprout wings and fly. Watch out for his comet spell, as well as the radioactive dirt he can shovel out of thin air. Avoid these attacks and show Black Knight who the real master of chivalry is. You've reached the top, only to drop in on the Order of No Quarters dinner. This fight is the ultimate test of your chivalry, pitting you against the entire Order of No Quarter, one after the other. Here's a real pro strategy. Save the wall meat that you're awarded after every knight is defeated until you really need it. This gives Shovel Knight a great advantage that he didn't have in these battles the first time around. Don't use Shovel Drop recklessly against the Enchantress. You'll need that floor to stand on. When she casts fire from below the screen, find a gap to stand in before it burns your toes. You can stand in the flames to not fall into the bottomless pit, but they hurt. You've done it! The Enchantress is destroyed and Shield Knight is released. But wait, the evil spirit of the Enchantress has returned for one final battle. When Shield Knight readies her shield in midair, Shovel bounce off it to hit the Enchantress's head. When there's a barrage of magic shots across the entire screen, stick with Shield Knight and let her protect you. You've done it! The land of chivalry is saved. Shovel Knight couldn't have done it without you. If you want to be a winner, check out more how to beat video cassette guides. Accept no substitutes. Get the real scoop on the hottest tips and tricks straight from the game masters at the Backloggery.